Indeed, you cannot help but be struck by watching this film, which HBO is releasing on Holocaust Remembrance Day, appropriately, but also in the midst of this Ukraine conflict. And Ben, you just put it very well. But Barry, would you like to speak to that? How you feel like this connects to our present moment?
Well, I think I, I think it connects to all of those things that take place that have such an overwhelming effect on individuals and the collective. You know, we we somehow think, well, when something ends, that it's over and that's it, and it's forgotten. And unfortunately, there are a great deal of people, like right now you're seeing all of these people, leaving the Ukraine, three plus million, I think at last count. And you'd say, okay, they've escaped, they've gotten out of that kind of uh, nightmare. And for some, they'll be fine in that way, and for others, that's gonna stay with them for the rest of their lives because they can't get past it, and it haunts them. And which is what Harry goes through in terms of the camps. What goes through now, it applies to so many kinds of people from all over the world, and those kinds of traumas. In many ways, unfortunately, mankind just repeats itself over and over again. And for whatever fault there may be in the human race, is that we are continually at odds with one another for reasons that are sometimes incredible and hard to believe. And that kind of repetition, you think that somehow we become more enlightened, but we don't. And I think what's important is that we have to understand the past, because otherwise, people like I believe, and I could be wrong, and is that something like 35% of high school students really don't know what the Holocaust was. And it's just one example. There are many, many examples of atrocities that have taken place that we just forget about. And the human toll isn't just at that moment, it's decades later. It continues on and on.